and welcome everyone to the Warhammer Meta Chasers. This is your live every Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern show talking about the biggest and best Warhammer tournaments coming up over the weekend. My name is Paul, your host. I'm joined by Dustin Henshaw.
Hello, everybody. I'm in frame now.
And Adam Camilleri.
G'day, I'm tall enough now.
Oh, thanks everybody for showing up, hanging out in the chat, and coming in, hanging out, see what we're doing. We have some great events to talk about this weekend. Also, charity event as well. Want to go ahead and talk about that is you can actually catch one of the events we're going to be talking about on War Games Live, the Battle to End Alzheimer's. It's going to be one of the ones we're talking about, and the Castle GT and the Alpine Cup. The Battle to End Alzheimer's, their goal is to raise more than $40,000. I think they're already at.
So in total, since they've been running the event, they're about $40,000 raised to fight Alzheimer's and Alzheimer's research. And they're hoping to get 50 this year. So they put together a phenomenal spread of raffles and charities and giveaways in order to raise money to, help end Alzheimer's in whatever forms we may contribute in our little corner, pocket of crazy, weird nerddom. And it's absolutely amazing that we do these kind of things here.
You see this thing happen, and in the community, they give to great causes and to great folks doing great things. And this is no exception. And it's really cool. They've raised this much and will continue to raise and continue to put it into the event. Even War Games Live, I think, is going to donate what they make over the course of the stream that they're doing for that to the cause. So everybody's putting in. So if you hear us talking about it right here, help boost the signal to maybe some other people may go and watch, and or if they can, go to the event's website and can kick in a bit, whatever you can spare.
Exactly right. We do have a link we may be able to put up on screen at some point where, it's going to be hard for you guys. You can't quite copy paste it or anything like that. But we'll chuck it in the chat periodically throughout.
There
and hopefully if you're watching in post, you can go to the live chat and suss it out there yourself as well. But
that's the right link, I hope, because that's what Adam gave me. So
that's what Nikki D is in the chat. That's what Nikki said to me, and that's what I've given to you.
You can link it in there too, Nikki. Put it in there, Nick.
Yeah.
Let the people know what get this in.
Donate if you can. Go if you can, if it's in your area. It's going to be 118 players, 6-round event. Dustin, what are we going to see there?
We will be seeing in the Imperial Super Profession, there are 4 Sisters of Battle, 6 Custodes, 2 Admech, 4 Astra Militarum, 1 Grey Knight, and 4 Imperial Knights. Space Marines are 7 Adeptus Astartes, 3 Dark Angels, 2 Space Wolves, 9 Blood Angels, and only 5 Black Templar. Well, that's okay. Chaos, there's 1 Chaos Space Marine, 3 T-Suns, 2 Death Guard, 4 World Eaters, 6 Demons, and 4 Chaos Knights. Xenos, there's 12 Necrons, no real surprise there. 6 Orcs, 3 Tau, and 5 Votan. Hive Mind, there's 7 Tyranids, and that 1 Gene Stealer cult player that plays everywhere. Eldari, there are 6 Drukhari and 6 Eldari, meaning the faction podium is Necrons topping off at 12, which isn't a surprise. However, Blood Angels being second on the podium with 9 is surprising. And then Tyranids tied with Astartes and third with 7. That's interesting. Where did Tyranids come from?
Tyranids come from, and where in the absolute hell did upon Wings of Fire did the Blood Angels appear in this meta? Out of absolutely freaking nowhere, there is 9 in attendance at this one, and I had to double and triple check because I thought, maybe some people have got like Bloodbath and Beyond as their freaking. Maybe some people have just got, their club name is Dark Angels Rock, and they're also taking Dark Angels. So they count as 2 control effort, but no.
Did you include the flesh tears? Are there like any more of that? Maybe.
Yes, I did. There's a single flesh tears, and they have been included.
Got it.
And they are one of the only ones running the actual Blood Angels detachment. So kudos to them.
Oh,
Gabriel Seth Into also. Because if you're gonna do it,
I like it.
I don't know. You can get a lot of play out of taking some of the other detachments with the Blood Angels.
Aren't you like a hardcore Blood Angel there, though, Paul?
I meant more that if you were going to take flesh tearers, this gen.
Oh, okay, that's
why you got to take Gabe if you're going to go fleshies? You got to take.
Okay,
Gabe,
I can agree with that.
Okay,
but yes, I do. But I'm also a big proponent of how to make the faction work. Even when the times may be lean for the actual special rules, and it's a bit of a side topic, but the game is so permissive of that right now. So it's really helping players of all factions get more use out of the models.
Well, I'm of the opinion Blood Angels actually are one of the spicy picks at the moment. And the more I unpacked why or what they could possibly have to offer in this meta, the more excited I kind of got. So a lot of people are taking their Vanguard spearheads, those Ultramarines, and they're taking Uriel Ventress. They're taking Uriel Ventress for the express permission to give one unit in their army deep strike, and then they're using CP to put that unit in and out of deep strike every turn. Well, there's this unit in Blood Angels called the Librarian Dreadnought, which essentially does the same thing, except in, whereas aggressors have gone up in points. A lot of the utility units that you would be taking in those spearheads in Ironstorms in Marines in general have gone up, and their dynamic options have essentially been reduced therein. That Librarian Dreadnought unlocks just take freaking tactical Marines, and they can act like Inceptors. You can just bomb them around the place.
I mean, let's call it what it is. It's the jump. All right, it's the jump.
Exactly right. You've got the jump up. The wings are sanguineous. Thank you very much. Paul is like, if he was dead, he'd be rolling in his grave. He's not. Thankfully.
Yeah, I'll just spin around right now.
But also, they have a couple of very good special characters, and akin to why people like Templars, because Templars are they are Space Marines, but good melee unit. Blood Angels have the same thing. Well, they are generic, and they with a little bit of spice.
You can also sprinkle in a Feel No Pain and stuff, and Feel No Pain on power armor is really good. It's like it just helps extend the life, gives you an extra turn of the game or whatever.
Buddy, but Death Company getting free rerolls to hit just all the time is ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Yeah, baby. Fist Inferno Pistol, let's go.
Yeah.
Any job is doable.
But you pulled out a couple of lists for us to look at. What are some of the top ranked players there?
Let's have a quick gaze. So I pulled out 2 of the top players in attendance, or 2 of the lists I liked the most. There are some there's a lot of Astartes here, and I pulled out no Astartes in this one because I'd already done the other. I'd already did the other event first and pulled that in the Astartes.
We only talked for like 10 minutes about Blood Angels. It's fine. We don't have to talk about any of the
list. It's fine.
Take Librarian Dreadnought, take some Death Company.
There we go. We covered it. Yeah, got it.
If you really want and you want to get spicy, Sanguinor's freaking amazing, and Dante and or Captain plus a 1 unit of Sanguinary Guard, I think still very good.
Sanguinary Guard, a little bit on the cut. You can make up for them in other areas.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
I don't hate it though. Austin Wingfield is the first gentleman we've decided to pull a list out for, because this is a sisters list that is sitting a little bit different. It's what I would say is a sisters list that is playing like the Ironstorm spearhead, the Ironstorm list of Marines, but in sisters form. And I thought there's a very interesting case point, very good to unpack. So, of course, Hallowed Martyrs is the detachment, because I don't have any others. He's got the full complement of special characters. That's Junith, Morven Vile, the Triumph of St. Catherine, and Celestine. So 4 special characters. A Dilogus with Litanies of Faith, a Palatine with the Blessed Blade, of course, because it's freaking amazing. A Preacher with Saintly Example. And then 2x10 Battle Sisters, a single Emulator, triple Castigator, so 3 Castigators, which is quite unusual. Usually we see 1.
Just 1 hanging out in the back.
10 Sacrosants, 2x2 Crusaders, a single Exorcist, 3 Paragon Warsuits, and 5 Seraphim. Like I said, this feels like as close as you get to like a mechanized list here. We've got the 1 transport in the Immolators, you've got the triple Castigators, you've got the Exorcist and the Paragon. So it's like you've got your Dreadnought equivalents, you've got your Gladiator equivalents in the Castigators, you've got your Whirlwind equivalent in the Exorcist, and then you've got a bunch of little bits and pieces, little MSU all around it at the same time still. I actually think it's quite an interesting list. I'm really keen to see how this does. The unit that I can't draw a bead on here is the fact that he hasn't gotten any Arcoflagellants, but he does have Sacrosants. And I want to know I'd love to be able to pick his brain and ask him why the Sacrosants over, say, a bunch of Arcoflagellants.
I don't know. That's actually a good question. I want to know that too. Is he in the chat? Come on. Austin,
someone go poke Austin. Tell him we need him.
I'm curious.
He's been summoned.
Because he knows what he's doing. He's a really good player. So there's a plan. There's absolutely.
I'm trying to think about what buffs what, and like there's any cause for that, because that's what you normally see a lot of unit choices about what supplements what needs help from some other thing and what doesn't need help, conversely, if it has a special already on it.
Well, I'm just going to quickly get down and have a look at that data sheet, if I can get it quickly. It's something we want to do. I know they do have their spears. I believe they've got the anointed halberds, which are essentially power weapons, strength 5 -2, 1 damage, 2 attacks each hitting on 3s. They have sworn protectors, while a Canoness, Palatine, or Junith, Allah, he has Junith in this list, is leading this unit. Each time attack targets a unit, they are -1 to wound. So they're only toughness 3 with a 3+ armor save, but they're -1 to wound with a 4+ invulnerable save. And of course, you have Acts of Faith to do a bunch of janky stuff therein. So it might just be he's got an anvil unit in there to be the body block between, say, his opponent and getting to the castigators, getting to the exorcists, and shutting down the shooting. And then, of course, you have the response force and things like Morven Vile and the Paragons, which together can do just about anything. I like it. I think it's pretty cool. The only question here is he exposing himself to assassinate and bring it down? Because when I look at this list, I'm like, so many characters.
KR mentioned that in the chat.
Cool. Yeah, sorry. Good job, KR. I think on the same wavelength. But yeah, I look at this, I'm like, this is just so many characters you have to use to win the game. And so many tanks.
That's like the classic trap from Adeptus Sororitas, though.
It is. You are correct. But man, some of these characters are just so easy to get.
Things with a 4-up invuln and faith dice. It's
ridiculous. The preacher, no. The preacher's like toughness 3 with no save, and you just like
okay, great. You got 3 points.
You got 3 points. All right, we're up.
We're up on I'm saying the first 3 are free.
First 3 are free.
No, I mean that is a great point. When you can like take some of the variance out of the game for your opponent, are you actually helping them? But is that something that your opponent's going to do? They're going to be set up to do. Are you going to run into them in the round where they're set up to do that against you?
Yeah.
And then there is that trap where if your opponent sets out, this is the only way I get my points. You're like, well, thanks for giving me that information. I'm playing a different way now.
That's
exactly right.
The big thing to remember here. Like, yes, it does open it up to giving Assassinate and a Big Game Hunter, but when you know exactly what your opponent's going to do to get their points every turn, you can play to deny those points. It means, especially like a Big Game Hunter's Assassin is a little bit harder than say like Cleanse or Teleport Homers, because like you miss one of those, you never get those back. So Assassinate and the Big Game Hunter, you can get them at any point in the game. However, there are a lot of ways that the sisters can just prevent you from getting those, and this is a singles event, so they just need to beat you by 1. So they know how many they can feed you. They know how many they can use. So those kind of fixed objectives, while, it's great. Like, I can get all these points. Like, but can you and should you? When your opponent can play against it without you, but before you even move, it's a lot harder to get those points when you need them.
Great points.
Exactly right. Well, let's have a look at the next list we have pulled out here. This is Matt Laura, who won the LVO.
Little thing called LVO.
Just a little event.
I don't know if you heard of it.
Barely 1,000 players. Tiny.
Barely, yeah. It barely didn't even hit 1,000. It was ridiculous.
Literally, at the top of this list, he says, "Is it finally time?" And because I don't know if he's taking the piss and just running something he really wants to run. I mean, and on the elation and joy of winning the LVO, you could see yourself taking it easy for a couple of months afterwards, just being like, and just playing just some dumb stuff you enjoy. But I looked at this list and I had to ask myself, is this good? Because I didn't quite understand it. He's playing Eldari again, so he's a step back from the Necron Menace as he's playing the former Eldari Menace. Battle Host, Azaman, Baharoth, Death Jester with Fate's Messenger, Eldrad, Illyrith, and Karandras. So just a fun bucket.
The Shadow Spectre character, right?
Yeah, just a fun bucket of Phoenix
Ranger?
Lords.
I thought it was the Ranger.
Illyrith? Was it the Ranger or the Phoenix? I don't know. Someone figured it out.
Is there a Phoenix Lord Shadow Specters? I don't think so.
There is.
Is there?
There is.
Yep. Well, I mean, in the game. I mean, I've never seen him flop through.
Yeah, no, there is both. There is also. So bunch of Phoenix Lords, just a bunch of Phoenix Lords. 10 Dire Avengers to go with Azaman, of course. The 2x5 Rangers. 10 Shadow Specters, which I thought was going with Irilith. But if it's the Rangers, it goes with the Rangers. 5 Striking Scorpions to, of course, go with Karandras. 10 Swooping Hawks. 2 single War Walkers. 5 Warp Spiders. And 2 Wraith Lords, gentlemen. Wraith Lords?
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
I haven't seen Wraith Lords in a while.
Yes. The question is this good? Because I looked at it, I'm like, I can't tell if he's taking the mickey and just enjoying himself with the list he's always wanted to run, or if this is just the new flavor of Eldar that we're going to be seeing, and we're going to see just a bunch of stuff like this.
Oh, Illic is the Ranger. Illic Nightspear. Sorry. Yeah. That's why I got it. They both start with I, man. Like, there's not that many names that start with I. Give me a break.
Yeah, so Irilith has the Shadow of Death aura while the enemy unit is within 6 inches of this model. Each time unit takes a battle shock or leadership test, subtract 1 from that test, and then it has the Reaper of Souls ability while this model is leading a unit. Each time a model in that unit makes an attack, add 1 to the hit roll.
Okay, so Shadow Specters don't have aren't going to be using the Flamers as much then, or at least they can use the. Can we still call them lances? Because I think they used to be lances, but now it's just.
They're like low. Yeah, they're low strength, high damage.
They're prism cannons, like little small prism cannons.
Yeah. Okay, well that makes them a lot more efficient then. That's good.
Yeah, they're a vicious unit. I already think they're very, very, very good.
Really
Deep
good at
strike
killing
and
elites.
stealth on that character also.
Oh, even better.
And they got shoot and scoot on the main unit, right?
They do.
On the unit of specters. Yeah, so they give that to him when he joins them. And they
he
just
gives them
buzz
stealth,
box
they're just
around
like,
the place.
Woo. I love it.
Well, that unit sounds pretty damn good.
Yeah,
the rest
that
of
unit's
it,
not bad.
like
Power
2
on the
Warwalkers.
defensive flag, swooping honks, that's not bad.
So Spear of Starlight is the range weapon. 3 attacks, hits on 3s, strength 8, neg 2, 4 damage.
Wow.
Custody killer. That's what it is. It's a custody killer.
True.
That's it. Because you get into the 4+ invuln with the neg 2 and then popping them every time, even through the shield. Like you'll be popping them. If they've got cover, it gets a bit iffy, but I still think that's a very,
they have to
very,
roll
very
3
good
ups
weapon.
like a space marine.
Yeah, pathetic. Get out of here.
Power armor. Never heard of you.
Never heard of it. This list is kind of sick. Eldrad's of course there to be the boost to the now diminished fate dice, because of course I think he gives you 3 more, so you'll start with 9 instead of 6.
Yeah.
So I think I do expect to be seeing a lot of Eldrad here, there, and everywhere. Like Azaman. So I love that they've all got their unit. Like Baharot's got his 10 Hawks. Azaman's got his 10 Rangers. Karandras only gets 5 Scorpions though.
The gimmick only goes so far.
Get out of here. Exactly right. Yeah. I love this list. I hope it's really good, because this is the kind of Eldar I want to see on the table, and I want to see powerful
Phoenix Lord
and fun,
leading a bunch of
engaging. It's the OG, man. It's one of the OG identities of 40k is the Phoenix Lord aspect warrior, combo.
Beltane,
it's been a while.
Court of the Young King, the Swordwind or whatever used to be all aspect warriors.
Yes. The Beltane, goodness, yeah, man. There was a lot. So I'd love to see that get some agency in 10th edition, and of course, always keen to see what someone like of the caliber of Matt Laura is doing in the game, especially off the back of the LVO. So yeah, those are the 2 lists we decided to pull out. It is a very interesting faction breakdown to pick from, but we'll go with Dusty first. What are you going to pick for a win?
Ooh, I don't know.
This is wild. This could be anything. Anybody.
This is wild. The pressure, or actually the willpower is taking me to not pick Tyranids just flat out right now, but I'm not going to do it. I'll do Necrons. But picking first, I got to be smart about it, right?
Yeah. Paul, what would you like?
Yeah,
mate?
I want to pick the Alzheimer's Association.
Ooh. Okay.
Well done.
Well, now.
Yes, that is actually, I want to call attention to the fact this is a charity event, of course. There are ways for folks to go and participate with that again. But I think I have to go with Blood Angels. I can't not go with Blood Angels.
Well, I'll put you down as Blood Angels, Slasher Starties. And what am I going to do? Jeez, I don't even know what I'm doing. I could give you a little bit of a forks, put the forks up to Dustin and pick the Tyranids myself, but that doesn't seem like something I do.
If you pick them and they actually podium, I'm going to be very angry.
I'm going to Custodes. Yeah, I'll go the Custodes. Let's see how they do.
All right. Next event we're going to cover is the Castle GT in Germany, Germany. 175 players, a 6-round event. Look at that. Mega events happening all over the world, half a world away.
Huge. This one is part of the Alpine GT circuit. So this is part of the that kind of heartland Europe. They'll have these big GTs just kind of rotating around in different places. Some in the Balkans area, some up in Germany, Austria, etc. And it's a good time. They put on a really good show. Pyra Cup's coming up soon as well. I don't know if Pyra is associated with here, but another big European event. This one will be an 8-person team event. And I do believe the United States is sending a squad, which I think I saw announced on the United States WTC team. They're sending some of their prospects and a couple of their veterans over to compete. I think that's very exciting to see. I hope that happens more often the world over. Like we just keep sending teams everywhere for these competitions. But sorry, interrupted. What are we going to see there, Vince?
A lot of players, 175 players. Dustin, what are we going to see there?
So for the Imperial Super Faction, there's 1 Sisters of Battle, 13 Custodes, 2 AdMech, 5 Astra Militarum, 9 Grey Knights, 3 Imperial Knights. Space Marines, there's 14 Adeptus Astartes, 1 Dark Angel, 3 Space Wolves, 4 Blood Angels, 3 Black Templar. Chaos, there's 5 Chaos Space Marines, 2 T-Suns, 11 Death Guard. This is Europe. 9 World Eaters, 5 Demons, and 11 Chaos Knights. Xenos, there's 13 Necrons, 11 Orcs, 8 Tau, 7 Votan. Did you just type That's So Europe in the notes as I was reading the Death Guard thing, Adam? Wow, thank you for that.
And you did it without me even
I did
needing
it without you even doing it. Yes, that's right. Hive Mind, there's 11 Tyranids and 4 G Cult. Oh, wow. Like every G Cult player in Europe has showed up for this event. Eldari, there is 6 Drukhari and 3 Eldari, which means the faction podium is Adeptus Astartes topping off with 14. Necrons and Custodes tying in second with 13, which is not too big of a surprise. But then in third, there's a 4-way tie with Death Guard, Orcs, Nids, and Chaos Knights. That's crazy. That's awesome, actually.
It's really good spread.
Wow.
Really good spread. Once again, though, but 2 100+ player events in completely opposite sides of the world. Huge amounts of Astartes. Gigantic numbers of Adeptus Astartes in attendance. The super faction stats is 25 overall Space Marine players at Castle, and almost the same, I think, 26 at a 50 less people event at the Battle of End Alzheimer's. So just Astartes absolutely everywhere and just smashing the podium positions as well. But yeah, this is a beautiful spread. Very, very, very nice. We always like seeing, like, if we ever get an event that has more than 5 factions on the podium, that's a good spread. That's just the baseline for good
they're
spread.
close too. Like, they're close. There's not a big gap between them. That's the big thing too. There's that many up there, and they're very close in numbers.
I did expect to see more demons these next couple of weeks. And it's
not quite a few in the last one. There were not too many this one though. But why do you say that, Paul?
And it's 5 and 6. You know, I mean, but I think that's just, you know, when you get to this size of event, you're going to see that many players.
Yeah.
I did expect to see more players go back to demons.
I 100% agree. I was expecting to see the Demons, Custodes, and Drukhari numbers to be the 3 that were on the upward trend. I mean, Custodes was a given. Everyone was always going to give that a crack because everyone's got one, just like literally just over there, Custodian army. But the Drukhari players, you know, migrating back from Eldari, Yunari, wherever they were before, and then 100% Demons. People, you know, wanting to check that out again, being redistributed from the, you know, supposed maybe Chaos Space Marines, etc., etc. I do believe plenty of Chaos Space Marine players have migrated to Death Guard, and I have seen that as being like, well, Death Guard actually does a lot of what Chaos Space Marines used to do. Like Plague Marine units are actually extremely dynamic, extremely versatile, and one of the best, probably arguably one of the best battle line units in the game, possibly one of the best, possibly the best. I think you could make that argument. But yeah, very healthy numbers. I love that every time we see like massive Death Guard numbers, I almost don't need to tell you where it is. We're just like, if I was to tell you that
mainland Europe,
almost 10% of the meta is Death Guard, where would you say that is? And we'd all just be like, yeah, we would just know intuitively. But yeah, very good spread here. And the list that I've pulled out 3 because one of them is going to be a very quick look in at a different version of the Vanguard Spearhead. Like I mentioned, this is Florian Schmidt, one of the WTC players for Team Germany. Very strong player. He's got Kalgar, Uriel Ventress, a lieutenant with combi weapon, and the Shadow War veteran ability, which is the same veteran ability as the Calidus Assassin. So, you know, can make one of your battle tactics cost more. 2 units of Centurions, 1 unit of 6, 1 unit of 3 Devastator Centurions, both with las cannons. 2 units of Company Heroes. 2 Gladiator Reapers, which is the first time I have seen those being taken in a Vanguard. 3 units of 3 Inceptors, 5 Infiltrators, 5 Scouts, and the unit of Inquisitorial Henchmen. Now, the interesting things here is, of course, we have the second unit of Centurions being added, which I see kind of come and go, like the unit of 3. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. Then it comes in, it comes out. But the Gladiator Reapers really made me pause. And I've been trying to think what they're doing in the meta now, because we did see them for quite some time, but I thought the main reason that they were there is because they were going to be the foil for the accursed cultists that were prevalent, which of
all
course,
the shots.
Yeah, of course, there's very few Chaos Space Marine players mixing and shaking it up now. So I was trying to think, are you guys trying to figure out why you would want Gladiator Reapers in this list?
I mean, Reapers in general can dish out at least a few reliable dev wounds at range, which can be helpful into some really tough stuff to avoid that invuln. Like there's like, so no, I was going to say Custodes, but they get a 4-up anyway now, which is great for them. They needed it, but like Tans do extra little chip damage if they need to, because there's not many, like you said, cursed cultists aren't really going to be a thing anymore. There are a lot of little sisters running around, and actually,
that's true.
Yeah, because they can really make those saves. So the dev wounds on them, wounding on 2s. With volume, that's actually pretty good in this. That's like really good in the sisters. Really good in the sisters.
There's still a lot of infantry out there. The reaping tally. That's why I want to go back and see what it is. I knew it had some kind of like restriction on it. The model's twin heavy onslaught Gatling cannon has the sustained hits 2 ability when targeting infantry
Yeah.
units.
Which is the other thing too. That's good into Wraiths because they'll have the infantry keyword with those Technomancers.
Oh, that is true. That is true. And of course, their strength, their race
Strength-
toughness 5, toughness 6.
So they were tough to
Race-
6, but this is strength 6 twin linked.
Strength 6. So that you're winning on 4s, re-rolling,
Yeah.
fishing for the
Which is the
6s.
Devas.
I don't mind that. And
Yeah.
they've got double exploding 6s. I don't mind that at all. That's
Yeah.
actually quite cute. Pointed out by in the chat, they're good into orcs also.
Oh
by
yes,
Australia-
very good into orcs.
Australia's network.
Which apparently
but
there's a
yeah.
lot of orcs there too. So yeah, that's a very good point.
Well, it's very interesting that we're seeing variants of this, and naturally a variant of this one, the Uprising Super Major in Australia, and they had essentially is virtually the same list as the Gladiator Reapers out and 2 Ballistus Dreadnoughts in instead, which I was scratching my head at the time also. And so it's kind of seeing the proliferation of the Vanguard Spearhead as is being adopted as one of the main lists for Astartes, and now we're starting to see them be patched for metas. Like here's the 500 points we switched to mix it up with XYZ meta. And I thought it was just a good thing to point out. But moving on to our next one. Because next one is Valentin Schefter. He's playing Necrons, Canoptic Court. We just wanted to point this out because this is probably arguably the best list in the game at the moment. And this is the one that has the big target on its back. It's either this one or it's the LVO winning Monolith Hypercrypt list. But I think those are pretty even depending on your terrain and what you think your meta is going to be. But consists of the Nightbringer and the Void Dragon, no Transcendent Catan, which I think is preferable in my mind. Imitate the Stormlord to keep you gassed up with CP. 3 Technomancers, one of which has the Dimensional Sanctum, which is the Infiltrate ability. 3 Canoptic Doomstalkers. 2x3 Scarabs, the full max unit of 3 race, so 18 race, and a single Locust Destroyer. So double Catan, triple Doomstalkers, 18 race, and then support characters at the wazoo. I think this is the core of an extremely oppressive, extremely powerful Necron list because it has all the durability in the world, and I have found the Doomstalkers even hitting on 4s with 4 rerolls from the Canoptic Court ability to be absolutely terrifying. Really good.
Overwatching on 5s with full rerolls.
Overwatching on 5s with full rerolls, mate. Absolutely great point out. But yeah, this is the Predator. This is the one that's hunting us. Everybody else
when you hear Necrons at the top of the heap, this is what they're packing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. This is a good baseline. If you are thinking you're going to go and win a GT, try and write a list that's got some play into this. Essentially.
You made a great point with that too, saying that the Satan is kind of on the outs with you. It is with me too. Nightbringer and Void Dragon, they are scary. I think they're automatically
fantastic.
They're phenomenal. This regular Satan, it's a stat check, but I don't feel it does the damage that they do.
Nah.
Like I feel I ignore the regular Satan a lot of times. Like sure, you're there, whatever, kill a couple things, it's fine. And for its points, you can grab like 2 Doomstalkers. Like
same. Yeah, 100%. I agree completely. I even think in some metas the Void Dragon is but there's so much mech out there that guy's just
I think the Void Dragon's got a lot of value, especially right now with Ironstorm being so prevalent.
Yeah.
Even like the Votan with their transports. I think he's got a lot of play for sure.
I'm playing a GT. So I'm playing a 2-day event this weekend. I'm taking Chaos Knights.
There you go.
And I've just at almost half the event's Necrons. I'm just looking like how many Void Dragons have I got to dodge here? And there's a lot.
You have to remember your other stats, your OC8, and a lot of those things.
Yes. Yes, you got to look to other levers. But yeah, this is a phenomenally good list. It's got all the tricks in the world. It's got all the durability for days. So just quickly for some people out there, anything that you boys have found that are good into this, like any profiles people can go to, any keywords, any abilities we can think of?
Reapers. Gladiator Reapers.
turns out
actually, I think the Shadow Specters are a good one for Eldar, but I don't think Eldar need help. Actually, no. Eldar do need help in the Necrons right now. They do. I think Shadow Specters is probably one of the best ones for it.
So the issue is Eldar now risk failing the damage check.
Yeah.
So all the race get to the mid-board objectives, and then what are you going to do? What do you have to dig out 6 race and a Technomancer? And that's the fear I have for Eldar at the moment. I have no doubt that they have the tools. Just I gotta wait to see it proven yet.
Yeah, a lot of people have asked me what the answer what Tyranids have with them, and one of them is Max Squad's Pyrovores, because they are D6+1 flamers, strength 6, -1, 2 in link, so you get right to the invuln and you reroll your wounds.
That's pretty good.
It's not ideal, but it's good.
Yeah.
But does it work into other things? Like
it works into everything. You can do damage hands too, because of the twin link. The strength 6 is the breaking point. Like I think we've talked about this before. The strength 5 to 6, that is the best breaking point of the game. So when you're strength 6, -1, ignoring cover too, just naturally, and twin linked, that's really good. In my,
that's the Pro
it's only
list.
105 points for 3 of them. So, like, I mean, that's pretty good.
All right, let's go on to our last list that we'll be unpacking for your viewing pleasure. This is Grisha, Gerwit. Feel free to correct me, Dustin. I probably
I'm going to stick with
messed
that.
that
I
up.
like it.
Yeah, it worked.
Hey, nice. He's
Good
playing
event.
Death Guard, of
Good
course,
event.
with Death Guard being absolutely here, there, and everywhere in Heartland Europe. We had to unpack one of these. This is a very, I think, very good list. He's got his Plague Company, of course, Typhus, 2 Biological Putrefiers, 2 Sorcerers in Terminator armor, 2 Foul Blightspawn, one of which has the droning enhancement, and a Tallyman. So heaps of characters. 2 units of 10 Plague Marines and 2 units of 5 Plague Marines, 10 Cultists, 2 units of 3 Death Shroud, 10 Poxwalkers, 3 Rhinos, 2 units of 3 Nurglings, and still 2 War Dog Brigands. And as you'll see, the Plague West Crawlers have been removed. Morty, never to be seen, not to be heard of here. Even though the Mortarian's ability has gone absolutely skyrocketed through the roof in viability, and just looking like it's trying to be a sister list. It's got characters for days and then MSU at the wazoo. I love this archetype I'm seeing.
This is actually really good.
It's like a lot of lists. Like with the
It's a lot of
rhinos,
lists.
It's a lot of lists.
with
Yeah.
the characters. Do you think that maybe Mortarion is like the force augmentation abilities that those characters normally have? Is it's replacing it with some of the smaller characters to be able to kind of spread it out over the field some?
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think that there are just, of course, the two thoughts with Death Guard being if Mortarion is worth it or not. If Mortarion is worth it, you automatically want to take a bunch of shooting to make the most of his abilities.
Yeah.
And therefore, if you decided that the shooting is not worth it, then I don't think Mortarion is a take. Mortarion incentivizes you to have a firebase, as in like incentivizes Plague Burst Crawlers and a bunch of other little bits and pieces. As soon as you say, well, the Plague Burst Crawlers aren't the best thing for my meta anymore, I'm not sure Mortarion makes the cut. I think this list is really good. I think it's very good. It's going to mix and brawl in the middle exceptionally well. The only question I had was the Death Guard Sorcerers. I couldn't remember what they did, so I've just quickly gone to them because, of course, they're going to be attached to the Death Shroud units. Their psychic ability is at the start of the fight phase, you can select one enemy within 18 of invisible to this Psyker and roll a d6. On a 1, the Psyker's unit suffers d3 mortal wounds. On a 2+, until the end of the phase, each time an attack is allocated to a model in this Psyker's unit, subtract 1 from the damage characteristic of that attack. So you, at the start of the fight phase, they pick something within 18, and then on a 2+, you are -1 damage against that person's attacks. That's such a weird sequence of when that occurs. It's really weird.
But when it works.
Also, once per battle, after selecting targets for a psychic weapon equipped by this model, until the end of that phase, improve the strength and damage characteristic of that weapon by 2. So what has it got that is psychic? It's got a force weapon, of course. It is just, and of course, Curse of the Leper, which is their psychic witchfire, which when overcharged, I guess, to become hazardous is 2d6, strength 6 -2, 1 damage. And of course, you can be minusing toughness and stuff like that. But I like this. Actually like this package quite a lot now that I've unpacked it a little bit. They're toughness 6 with 5 wounds and a standing 4+ invulnerable save. And I think the ones he has, I can't remember if they've got fists or chain fists, but they're just another like Savage Terminator attached to a Savage Terminator unit. So I'm actually kind of really liking that little package.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap. I've actually been seeing a lot more Death Guard players take the Sorcerers in Terminator armor lately. It's pretty good.
I'm quite a fan.
Yeah.
The minus damage ability is actually quite cute as well.
Yeah.
If you can,
clutch.
I'm still trying to get my head around the secrecy because like it's in the fight phase, but it's not in engagement range. It's like you point at somebody, but then they're
Hey, if you get over here, you're not gonna like it.
Don't you?
But they've already charged. It's started the fight phase. Charging has ended, so you know where they've ended up, and you're still like, why would you ever not point at the one in your combat? You get the minus damage. It's just a weird way of doing that ability. But anyway, ability.
I've not played with the sorcerer. I play with the playcasters, which have its neat thing. Unless let me review that ability.
Yeah. Of course, still taking the 2 biological putrefiers, which are the Grenady boys. And see, I only think you ever want 2. It's either 1 or 2, maybe even none one day. But at the moment, I think you don't want more than 2 anymore. The foul blight spawns, though, the fight's first ability on them, and then having that really good flamer attached to that chassis as well. I think that is just such a good package. That little character, absolutely immensely amazing in how much value it brings to your list, especially when we're in a little bit of a melee grindy matchups at the moment. Got a lot of race, got a lot of custodies. Eldars, Drukari's back in the 4, running at you from 27 inches away, and then you're like, lol, I'm fights first. See you later, Incubi. It's a big issue.
There's no targeting a unit. You just roll in the fight phase, and if you get it, then the unit is a -1 damage.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to pick anybody to.
Oh, so it's everybody that's fighting. So there are like a bunch of them in combat with them. They just get -1 damage for everything.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. That's very good.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good.
Anyway, those are the 3 lists I wanted to bring to your attention. Those 3 gents are all going to do extremely well, I believe. And yeah, time to pick some winners. We started with Dustin, so we'll start with Paul this time. What would you like, mate?
Ooh, this is look. I got to get in the game here. Although the predictions last week were very solid.
They were.
It was very solid.
We didn't do any bad picks at all.
The players, that's where
they let you down.
Any given Sunday, that's where the skill of these pilots is coming in. We're seeing that emerge. I will go with. I'm going World Eaters.
Whoa! Oof. Hot take.
Out of nowhere. Hot take. Yeah, I'm being lame. I'm going Necrons.
Oh, yeah, I think this is a grindy environment, and that means you're going to be wanting to get close to each other. Yeah. And World Eaters are, they do really well when people want to get close to them.
Totally agree. And they've got decent numbers here. 9. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good numbers. I'll take Astartes.
This is all right, gents.
Yeah.
What's next?
Oh, this is the part in the show where we would normally say, "Hey, we're sponsored by this, that, and the other." But we're going to say we're sponsoring ourselves this week, like we have been every week. So if you do like what you're hearing, want to support the show, and it is within your ability, please go check out our Patreon. We have several different levels there. All the levels are awesome. Certain levels get you access to a bonus show that we do most weeks, looking back at how our predictions shook out. That's how I know how I did. Last couple of weeks.
Yeah, so the way that works is at least 2 of us get together, usually on Wednesday Eastern Standard Time, and we record a look back on the events that we covered, what did well, what was in the top 10, and then pull out 1 or 2 of the spicy lists that did do well and unpack why they possibly did well, what their run was, and any really, really, really sick tech that they've got that you might need to know that might change the way you play. So yeah, hopefully you'll join us over there, Patreon, Warhammer Meta Chasers. Beautiful. You'll need to get to the 2nd tier to get access to that. Otherwise, thank you very much for your time and your ears. Like, share, and subscribe. All that good stuff.
If you are a patron, yeah, you do get to do things like influence. This next segment we call the Fuego Rapido, where we talk about, whatever the topic is, and rapid fire some responses, and over the course of the clock, you get to sometimes influence which events we talk about. So there's lots of different things that you might be able to do in addition to just showing that level of support. And yeah, Alan, like you were just talking about, that some of the hassle-free ways to also do that. Leave some comments, hang out in the live chat. I haven't mentioned it this show yet, but we have an amazing live community that comes and hangs out with us and keeps us informed of things when we might real-time live get them wrong.
It is live,
but it's great to hang out and talk to them, get to be part of that, get to be influence the show in different ways, also get to say what's up, and also the comments, the shares, the likes tells those algorithms that other people should come and do it with us. Thank y'all for doing that.
Always appreciate all of you. So we do have a theme for this week because Valentine's Day just passed. So this week's theme is your significant other and your hobbies. So,
oh no,
I know Paul's wife watches this, so
she doesn't know where I am.
All right, here we go. Number 1. When your significant other describes 40K to their friends, how do they word it?
No.
See, my partner describes it actually more favorably than I do.
Really?
I describe it as essentially I play like 3D chess with toy soldiers I paint myself. And that's usually how I describe it. If you just wanted to just say it in a sentence to somebody, at a party or something. My partner actually goes into great detail, and she's like, "Oh, there's all these little trees and stuff, and they move their models, and they use a tape measure, and they roll some dice, and it's like D&D plus like an RTS strategy game plus this plus that. It's really
Yeah,
cool."
we
And I'm
all
sitting
just
there being like, "I'm hanging with stinky nerds. I know I'm
Yeah.
a pig in a pig pen. I don't care.
we
I
live,
call it
eat,
what it
breathe,
is."
sleep Warhammer over here. Everybody knows. You just talk to people like you know what it is. Like, oh, he's a Warhammer player. And we're like,
Yeah,
what?
obviously, how would you not know what that is? No further question required, right?
Exactly.
I think the thing is now is, yeah, he's a Warhammer player. Henry Cavill plays Warhammer.
Yeah,
That's
perfect
true.
segue.
That thing
That's
Henry
the segue.
does.
The thing
Are you
Henry
saying
does.
Superman is uncool?
Yeah.
You can't say that,
Yeah.
right? You can't say
For
that.
shame.
I think my wife usually says, like, whenever I hear her describe it, it's like he plays like GI Joes and sometimes paints them himself, and goes to tournaments every
But
so
you do that
often.
in addition to Warhammer.
Yeah, I do that in addition to Warhammer. Obviously, I have a very large GI Joe collection. I don't know if you guys know this. It is a massive GI Joe collection from when I was a kid. And I never got rid of it, and I'm never going to get rid of it.
Amazing.
It's going. It's
Do you
going.
have
It's
this?
going to my kid.
Did they have a submarine?
Yeah,
They did, yeah.
yeah. They
Yeah,
have
I think
they
they
have
had a
Uh,
submarine.
a hovercraft
the
and a
hovercraft. Yeah.
hydrofoil.
Oh,
Oh, I never
not
knew it
remember
was a
the
hydrofoil at the
submarine.
time. I just called it a hovercraft.
those were the days.
They're
Remember
all
being in
hovercraft.
the early 90s and thinking hovercraft were going to take off and we were all going to have like personal hovercraft.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
What happened? What happened to that future? And
Yeah,
why do I
saw
not have
like
it right
a
now?
TV commercial where you could buy one for like
Really?
$3,000 or
I
something.
want to see a
in the 80s
hovercraft
or
driving down the street someday. That'll make me happy. That would make me very happy.
Same. Where are my freaking hovercraft?
where are the
Like what
hovercrafts?
happened to
Yeah.
what
You
happened
could
to
use
that
them out in the bush
technology?
over there. It'd be great for you there.
Absolutely. Yeah. See you,
No.
snakes. We're just getting
So-
Yeah, that's
We're out-
right.
Little fan.
We're out of
It's
time.
great.
We're breaking our own rules.
Yeah, fuego.
All right, next up. What is your significant other's favorite 40K model?
Ooh. I don't know.
I think probably like a hive tyrant. I think it's a
Really?
hive
Oh,
tyrant,
all right. Respect to your wife. Respect.
I
I
think.
like that. Like a flying hive tyrant or
Yeah.
a walking hive tyrant? Yeah, because they walk.
Just
I don't know if I have
I'm
that
just gonna-
distinction locked in
No,
my brain.
you know what? That's fine. There's that's nothing wrong with that. What's that?
just gonna say this one.
That one. This one.
I'm holding a Night Rampager. It is pretty.
Oh, she walked by and go,
That's
that's
cute.
cute. And so
That's
now it's
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly. Good enough. Ooh, it's spiky. That's
Ooh,
yeah.
spiky. Take
ooh,
done. That's
spiky.
your favorite. That's your favorite. For my wife, it's actually bloodletters.
Oh,
I can
explain.
see that.
So I
I
just
have
remember-
questions.
Yeah. I had questions too. It's like, oh, I love that model. Like, really? Why? She like picked it up and she's like looking at it, like, why do you like it so much? Like, because he's sticking his tongue out. Like, like, okay. I mean, that's as good a reason as any.
It's Gene Simmons.
It's Gene
Um,
Simmons. Yeah.
Downvoting people. It must be an OG like Warhammer Meta Chasing enjoyer because they've said the Wince, the Walking Demon Prince. That's a callback if I ever saw one.
Look, and we all know that's actually Walker Princess Ranger. That's
It is, yes. Oh, thank
eyes-
you very much for
My
that.
eyes twitching for those of you that aren't actually.
made
watching
my
this part of the
day.
Video.
Yeah.
Oh god.
So Dustin has a room in. I've stayed in Dustin's house, and Dustin has a room in his house that is soundproof. That he goes in and screams when people talk about the Walking Demon Prince.
I'm in it. I'm in it right now.
Walking
The studio
the
is
Flyrant,
soundproof, yeah.
the Walkrant.
Oh my god.
You know, all of them. He just-
Flyrant's fine. It's
furious.
the Walkrant that's infuriating. That's not a thing. It's just a tyrant.
It doesn't have wings. It's walking. It's a Walkrant.
That's why all of my Ocklates are on foot, so they're actually Walkalites. That's what they are.
We got one. It's a fighter. If you can't see me right now, I was imagining that I'd hooked a fish.
Yeah.
And the fish was Dustin.
Yeah, it's me. Every time. Just
nice.
All right, next one. If your significant other played or plays 40K, what faction do they play and why?
My partner's a savage. Probably Emperor's Children.
Emperor's Children, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just lethal.
She's a punk rocker chick. She'd love the Noise Marines. She'd love the
oh yeah, no, that's
yeah.
Yep, that makes sense. Okay.
Around to that.
I'm trying to think because I know one thing for sure is that my wife would want an army that was painted blue, and she doesn't believe in painting it that it's not supposed to be painted, like painting it your own. She wants to be painted legit, so it'd have to be like Ultramarines or maybe like Ally Talk Eldar or.
Other option could be orcs. She might really get into the orcs.
Yeah, I could see that too.
Oh yeah, there's a couple of blue factions.
You
right?
said savage, so the orcs are pretty savage.
Yeah.
Oh, she did actually really like the Incubi when she was looking at those. So maybe Drukhari.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Maybe. But it could just be like the paint job. I'm pretty sure she wants something to be blue though.
Drukhari look good in blue.
They do. Is there actually what Cabal is blue? Where's Scary when you need him?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, not up on my Cabal color schemes.
What about you, Paul?
Cabal color chart.
Yeah, I think Tyranids would be it. That's what I think.
Tyranids, well, because the Hive Tyrant, just kind of go with that. That makes sense.
And look, play the model you like.
Yeah, for sure. I love it.
Only the big ones.
Only the just like.
Actually, no, I think this probably seen a lot with the small ones be cute, like a bunch of little cuddly Hormagaunts.
It was definitely Eldar, because when we did play our one game, she grabbed a bunch of Rangers and Guardians, and she painted the only model she's ever painted was a Guardian.
Wow, amazing!
Yeah.
All right, Fuego.
Next up, the best hobby-related present your significant other ever got for you.
She's
a wall-mounted bottle opener.
Wall-mounted.
Is it a Death Mask of Sanguinius, but it's a bottle opener?
That would be incredible.
That would
Is it actually
sell.
that? Is that it?
That would sell.
We should make it, and we should patent that, and we should sell it.
Yeah.
The Warhammer Meta Chaser bottle opener.
Death Mask bottle opener.
Death Mask bottle opener.
Death Mask bottle opener. Yeah. You crack it in Sanguinius' teeth.
Oh, I love it. That's amazing.
I think
I do have a story about a Fortress of Redemption, though. That it was a present.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if she's ever gotten me any hobby presents. I'm a bit of a bastard.
Like any kind of hobby, like video games, art.
Okay.
Like any kind of, not just necessarily 40K, just hobby in general.
Handmade mahogany dice tray. That sounds.
Oh, see, that's really good.
That's pretty good.
That's a nice one.
So I'm still trying to think. Actually, she usually buys me experiences, like stuff to do on trips away, or
that's cool.
Yeah, we really value that kind of stuff. So I'm not sure if any of that stuff will count. She bought me flowers once, which I thought was very nice. First time I'd ever been bought flowers in my life, and it's very lovely, gentlemen. It was quite nice. I was like, oh, that's kind of sweet. I get it now. All the times I've given flowers, I get it.
It's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
For me, actually, it was very nice. She got me a nice dice tray for Christmas one year, and that was the same year that she somehow found 2 boxes of Carnifexes when I was looking for them, which were like,
oh snap!
I couldn't find them anywhere, and she found 2 of them. And she was like, I just kept telling people I wanted Carnifexes. I didn't actually know what they were, but I hope these are it. It's like, yes, those are it. They're even like the unlabeled ones, the old unlabeled ones. So actually, are they even?
There's the white boxes with nothing inside or nothing on the outside.
Yeah.
Very cool.
All right. Last but not least,
Fuego.
The best or funniest comment your significant other has ever said to you about a hobby of yours. Can you say yours, Adam? That snicker?
Cannot. I probably can't even do the top like 3 or 4. All right.
Yeah. Warhammer is life over here.
It's true. It's true. Actually, I think mine was I was playing Mega Man 1, I think it was, maybe Mega 1, Mega Man 2. She'd never really seen me play it before, and I was like, I'd gotten all the way to like Wily's Castle, and I was like switching through the weapons to go do the different things, kill some monsters and stuff. And she kept looking at the screen like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm switching weapons." Like, how do you know which weapon's which? She's like, well, they're each different letter is a different weapon. And she kind of looked at me and seriously asked, like, so he just kills people with the power of the alphabet? I was laughing pretty hard for a while.
It's very good. is very good.
So the pin is mightier than the sword.
I did once have a previous partner, not my current partner, who stated that if I put as much effort into my hobby and the content creation into like anything else, we'd be eating a lot better. And I'm like, shut up. We eat fine.
You better eat this
a
support
working podcast
and enjoy it.
I didn't tell her to shut up. I laughed. just to be clear, yeah.
But you were thinking it real hard.
You were thinking it.
Oh man,
but your
the
face
things
said,
I was
"Shut up."
thinking. Yeah, that was pretty good. I thought that was like a little bit of a stab too deep, but I was like, fair enough.
Yeah,
Like if
you're
I,
not right.
yeah, if
I
I
can't
like
argue with you about it.
if I played the stock market like I researched and learned 40K rules, I'd probably make some dollars.
That is our show this week, everybody. We talked about 2 great tournaments. One of these tournaments has a great cause associated with it too. So please, check out the stream if you find the links and contribute if you can, or just be aware of it for the next time it rolls around.
Disappointed no one has mentioned my back scratcher that I've been brandishing for the last 10 minutes.
Nobody.
It's like you guys don't even care.
Everybody thought it was your hand. Like we didn't know.
Tiny little metal hand.
Tiny little metal hand.
It's my strong side. Yeah. Please jump on and support Battle to End Alzheimer's this weekend. I'll be in the chat where I can in War Games Live. And yeah. Thank you, boys.
Yeah, thanks everybody in the chat. Thank you everybody listening to After the Fact. Leave those 5-star reviews, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. We will see y'all next week, everybody. Good night.
See you next week.